We're gonna focus on the entire body, and I wanna give you a map. I really wanna kind of like demystify this body, at least this skeleton. So if you can set up the infrastructure, you'll just let your muscles drape over the bones, but at the same time, we're going to energize the muscles to play a big role. Okay, so here we go. Let me bring to your attention some of the key points, and we're going to go from the ground up. And again, just keep in mind that there's a pull acting upon us from the center of the earth. Just like everything's going to the center. So with regards to the feet, we're going to create a triangle in your feet. So first we'll go over a little bit of the anatomy, and then we'll all stand up, and then we're going to take all of these points and all of these centers. We're going to draw lines throughout the entire body, and then you soften, so points, lines, centers, activate. It's going to be a glorious situation. Okay, so the first 3 points I want to bring to your attention, to your awareness. So this is the right foot. We're like this. There's a point right here on the big toe, on the base of the big toe. There's a point right here at the base, or really it's actually the head would be more anatomically correct, the head of the little toe. And then we're going to pick a point right smack here. So when you're standing, try to connect those 3 points to the ground. A little dance that I like to do, and we'll get into it later, this is going to have like a repetitive theme. I like to lift my toes up to activate the arches in my feet, the muscles in my feet. So many people, they're disconnected to the ground. They're disconnected in general, but from a physical standpoint, they're just not grounded. We stick like all of these crazy layers underneath our feet, and then we just don't have this like earthing, grounding effect. And then we'll have a conversation later on at some point about high-heeled shoes and how it just demolishes, forget about your posture, but I mean, it demolishes your feet, your knees, kind of can put some jamming effect on the low back. So you're going to create this beautiful pyramid, a triangle in your foot, and activate the arches in your feet. The next thing I want to bring to your awareness is this joint right here, where your shin bone, also known as your tibia, connects to this bone called the talus. It's one of my favorite bones, actually, even to adjust. But we'll find that this guy kind of has like a joint where it sits like this, and it kind of moves like that. So that's the main action of the joint. And most people don't sit with, or stand rather, with their shin bone centralized on this bone. They tend to stand with their knees locked and this part rotated back. So I want to bring your awareness. Now we've created a triangle in your foot. Now I want you to actually, believe it or not, make a point with your shin bone connecting straight to the center of this bone. It's going to change how you stand. And you're going to have to repeat this only 200,000 times a day, if you're lucky. The next joint that I want to bring to your attention is your knee joint, where you have this gorgeous bone right here, your femur connecting to your tibia, and really the knee joint is it's primarily a hinge joint. Not primarily, it's a hinge joint. You don't want your knee joint doing a whole lot of this, you know what I'm saying? It's not the best feeling on the planet. But a lot of people, they lock their knees. So you're going to put a little pressure on your cushion pads. I'm notorious for this personally. Love naturally locking my knees, so 200,000 times a day. Feet activated, getting my shin bone right on top of that talus bone, and unlocking my knees. it's going to change the compression in your low back. This is the hip joint right here. This hip joint is a ball and socket joint, which means it has a wide range of motion. Most people don't position their legs in their hip joint properly. Kind of like sloppily would be more like it. Kind of flowed well. It's not properly, they do it sloppily. Okay, so you see either like one leg's kind of like positioned way out like this, or like this. So you're either like a right James Dean or you're a left James Dean. That's kind of like how we learn like this really cool biomechanical model. But what is really nice, and you don't have to be completely toes pointing straight ahead. Some people have a design of their pelvis where it allows for a little bit of a turnout, or maybe it allows for a little bit of a turn in, and that's just how they're naturally designed. So you're gonna find what's comfortable, but this is not normal. The people that stand kind of like this. The next area that I'm gonna draw your attention to is the low back. And there should be a curve in your lower spine. There are a lot of people who are tight-assed and they kind of like walk like this, or there are a lot of people, they just don't have any control, they don't have awareness, they've just lost like their power center and they're just way out in front. Now it's going to put a lot of compression on the joints in the back, which is one of the main reasons why high-heeled shoes can create problems for women. Not saying it doesn't look amazing, not saying it doesn't add a couple inches of height to you, not saying it doesn't make your legs look long and gorgeous, not saying it doesn't accentuate some of the curves, but then you're gonna have to deal with the ramifications like bunions, osteoarthritis in the knees and jam joints in your low back and neck. But besides that, they're totally great to wear.